Kevin, how do you feel about everyone making profile pictures of you with different jerseys on?
Dude, what the? I don't even know how it's
like 30 of them.
Dude, I don't know how it's just one person did it and then like everyone and their mom was doing it. It's just like the St. Louis one is disrespectful.
Yeah,
that one
was
is
the
just
first one, right?
I think that was the first one, and then I see Portland and Seattle, and I'm like, God damn,
Orlando.
Chill.
So news, there really is nothing.
Boring.
Literally,
very boring.
No MLS news. I would like some kind of like controversy even at this point.
So MLS, what's it called? What's the account? There's like so many fucking MLS accounts on Twitter. Well, one of them said that the viewership is like 40% lower or something, or only is it 40% lower than expected, or only hitting 40% of what they expected?
Vanilla put this in Discord. What's really the problem about MLS and Apple TV meeting 40% of their initial projection? So I guess they're down 60.
Okay, all right. I have some takes. I think. Okay, first of all, a lot of people were saying, well, what are you gonna expect out of, it's not the first season, or it is the first season with Apple, but it's like the first season of it's like a league going into a partnership. The first season usually is not like really good.
That should be built into the projection, though.
Yeah, it should be, right? Yeah, that's what and the other thing is Apple has that like that clause where they can just jump out if it's not hitting the numbers that it needs to hit, which really sucks because right now I feel like I've had, even though my team is the worst, I think I've had the most enjoyment watching the league in the first time in a long time because it's so easy. I don't have to stress out about blackouts. The quality is amazing and the shows are great. It's so much better, but the problem is if it's a league that's growing and we're trying to get fans to jump ship and jump on board, but now we're in a situation where people don't want to pay $15 a month on something they want to try out. I guess we got a little lucky with like the free deals with T-Mobile. Whatever,
and also like it's not just T-Mobile. Like I did not know this, and they're not going to spread this information around because it loses money for them. But you can share your Apple account with like 6 different people, and all 6 of them can watch it at the exact same time.
What?
So literally, all I would have to do is have your phone number if you have an Apple phone, and I can text you to join into my family plan.
What?
And then
hell?
6 people can join. Like right now, I have 5 people. We all watch the MLS games all at the same time from the same account.
And it's the same price.
I pay for it, and then everyone else watches it. That's it. So it's technically, if you really wanted to split it, you could split it with 6 people.
Yeah.
And do it that way. And if you have the T-Mobile thing, then 6 people can still join.
Well, see, that's interesting because now I feel like people need to know that just so they can start, just so they can jump in and see what it's like.
Because it's a hefty price tag to get in.
Yeah.
If you don't know all of the extra stuff. And it makes sense, like, business-wise for why they're not telling that information. But yeah, I do think people, if they want people to do it, I think it would help that.
But, like, that's the only thing that makes me nervous. If this season ends and we don't hit the numbers or whatever, and Apple's like, all right, guys, we tried, we're pulling out, which I don't think would happen. But if, let's say, it does happen, it's going to suck all over again. It's going to be Fox and all these other networks picking it up.
Which I do not want.
No, I'm sure we're gonna have blackouts again.
Yeah.
And even me last year, like doing like the streams or whatever, I'm not that far from the state. Like I'm not in the situation where I'm several states away, and it blows my mind that this is the closest club to me, and I can't watch the games.
No, that's how I did not know this until about 2 years ago. Blackouts work. Because this is how it happened with. So I'm a big Canes fan. I like watching hockey as well. And I am about an hour from Raleigh, about an hour, 15 minutes from there. And I get blocked out because I'm close enough to the game that they want to force you to go.
What?
So it's like this. You have to be in this like weird middle ground. If I'm wrong about that,
no, I think you're right.
I have done like the research on it and I've looked. So it's like this weird middle ground where you have to be like just close enough, but also just far enough away to get the games when it comes to blackout. Also. The quality on Apple's, I love it. The quality. So if you're only watching one team too, it's a great thing. The problem for me is there's no Friday games. There's no Sunday games. And some like randomly there's a Sunday game. And then most of the games start at 7:30 Eastern.
Yes.
Like almost all of them start at the exact same time.
I think
that also hurts the
absolutely
the longevity there.
I think personally I was like, oh, thank God it's always on the weekend. I don't gotta worry about a weekday stream or whatever. Or even watching it. I remember the beginning of last season when I wasn't streaming, I remember thinking like, okay, This game's at 8:00 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm not watching this. Sorry, I got other shit to do. But yeah, that's the thing that hurts though. People are used to like a Tuesday game or Thursday game leading up to the weekend. It's like every other sport in the US does that exact same thing, and in Europe and everywhere else too. But yeah, I think that might be the hurt. Like all the games at the same time almost. And then some people like to vibe and watch other games, even if it's not their team, but they can't because their team.
They can't. Like I want to watch as much MLS as I can, and I literally can't. I will watch one game at 4:30.
Yep.
And then I will watch one game at 7:30. For some reason, there's like this giant gap, and then it's 8:30, 9:30, 10:30.
Yes.
But it's like you only get to like watch half a game. And so if the Charlotte game starts at 7:30, I miss the 8:30 games. I miss the beginning of the 9:30 games.
Yep.
And then maybe I'll watch one game at the end because it's like one game at 10:30. So I think that'll help. I think knowing the fact that you can share it with 6 people and all 6 can literally watch it at the exact same time, where it's not like Netflix where you like get penalized for watching at the same time.
Yeah.
So you've got I think that people knowing that, and then if they change the schedule, I think more people will be inclined to actually do it, because I feel like people were waiting a second to see how they were going to do it before biting the bullet and paying for it. And now they're seeing it and they're kind of like, I don't know. But once you get past that, the quality is great. The things they have in the excess is so much better than anything else we've seen so far.
Obviously, and that tweet said sources say and blah, who knows, and we don't really have like Apple's reaction to it. I even was wondering, maybe they're gonna bring it up on extra time or whatever. I don't think they did, so I'm like, if they're not worried, or they might be hiding it, maybe they are worried.
Maybe they're so worried that they're not talking about it.
It's
like past the maybe we should.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but I'm going to be, dude, it's just going to be crushing if they leave and we're going to get start all over.
I don't want to go backwards. Kevin, how do you feel about everyone making profile pictures of you with different jerseys on?
Dude, what the? I don't even know how it's
like 30 of them.
Dude, I don't know how it's just one person did it and then like everyone and their mom was doing it. It's just like the St. Louis one is disrespectful. That one is
the
just
first one, right?
I think that was the first one, and then I see Portland and Seattle, and I'm like, God damn,
Orlando.
Orlando. The Orlando one was funny.
So many.
Dude, what the hell? It's funny because at the beginning, like right when I started streaming, I was like, okay, I'm only going to have... I just imagine nobody else watching except for like 30 sporting fans or whatever.
Yeah.
And because they have no presence, little to no presence on the internet, I thought, okay, it's just going to be a snooze fest or whatever. But it's been the opposite. It's almost like no sporting fan messes with me, and they're all other fans around the league.
Other ones, yeah.
It's just so weird. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny, but I think it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't think the team's going to turn it around, but if the team turns it around, I don't think people are going to be keeping their profile pics the same.
They might. Do any of them fancy? You fancy any of the colors? You any of the jerseys on them?
I'd love the Orlando one just because it was funny. You had the alligator killed me, dude. Like a giant ass alligator behind me, dude. I love the Portland. Their colors are delicious. The green.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Kansas City fan, but like I don't really like St. Louis's kit this year. I know it's their first kit, so yeah, it's an okay kit.
I rated it real low.
Really? Okay.
Really low.
It's totally just average, but it's going to be interesting. The next couple seasons, I remember looking at Sporting's like first kit after the rebrand, and it was not that nice either. So it's always that first kit.
I like the color. The color looks good on the pitch. Like the red pink looks good, but I think when you I think Purina is a really terrible.
That
sucks. Just really terrible, and it's very unfortunate for them. But
hopefully they can move on from that.
I don't think
one day, but it's been fun. That's what's so cool about MLS World. I know this wouldn't happen in Argentina. No one would be making they're making fun, but they're just joking around. It's like
a with you type of thing. It's not really an at you type of thing.
In Argentina or Europe, it's gonna be like crazy shit. You would see some horrific things.
Way different. Like, this is more of like a fun. I'm having fun with Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Especially because I feel like you've said multiple times, if Sporting folds them out, it doesn't matter.
Oh, for sure.
And so it's like it's like giving them free reign to just invite you in.
I'm so disconnected. I mean, I'm connected but disconnected, and I think every fan right now, especially around Sporting, is just so over how lame it is. And I think it's not only Sporting's fault. I think it's the league's fault. There's no incentive to do well other than you want to win the cup, but it's like if you do bad, nothing happens. You know, maybe we don't need relegation, but there needs to be some type of punishment,
some kind of thing, something. I don't think like I think this might come back to bite me in the ass, but I feel like American fans are typically kind of wishy-washy when a team doesn't do well, just in general. And so if we had relegation, I think if a team were to drop, they would just drop the team.
I think
would,
so
like,
too.
The fan base would completely fall apart.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why it won't work here.
I want it. I think it's because it's just too spread out. Because like in one of the first episodes, we talked about how even like Real Salt Lake is such an like the area is so large.
Yes.
So when you're like next to it, it's cool to have, like, you can still have that fan base when you're right in the city, right there, no matter how big the team is, whatever, because you see it all the time. You're involved in it. But But Sporting Kansas City, how you feeling?
Oh, not God, great. Dude, I honestly think, like, I'm so burnt out so early. I knew I was gonna get burnt out, but I thought I was gonna get burnt out because there's like 1,000 games this year. I didn't think I was gonna be burnt out because there's gonna be 1,000 games. The team is absolutely ass, not even improved at all since last season, and they're just doing embarrassing ass things with like cease and desist shit and like all this like
adding on top of that is it's so hard to deal with. I think just adding stuff on top of a winless season so far.
Yeah, and that's where, like, even when people like, God, like, I know I'm about to get tagged today because there's some shit going on today that I'm like, because you're a fan, everyone just goes at you like,
especially when you're in when you're in the front of everything.
Yeah,
when it comes to like sporting, because like I don't know any other Sporting Kansas City fans,
right?
Like personally. Just because I'm not in Sporting Kansas City, right? So you are the one that I know.
The face.
And so whenever I see anything Sporting Kansas, I'm like, oh no, Kevin.
Dude,
oh no,
for
Kevin.
Real. And the thing is, like, that topic, that cease and desist topic, I'm still very sensitive on that. So like when people are like, how fucking dare your club do this? I'm like, God, please.
What do you want from me?
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Text somebody, send them an email for you.
Just like, hit them up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm even in the spot right now too, where I don't know how they feel about me, just because even the last 2 weeks, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, on the field, off the field, front office, even the fans. I'm getting pissed off on our stupid ass, like, I don't know, they're not called ultras here, but whatever, the fan group people.
The supporter group things.
Supporter groups. I'm like, what are we trying? Are we caring? And I even had someone talk to me the other day that barely watches MLS, just a friend. He goes, it's so weird because he's a Kansas City sports fan as well. And he goes, I don't think anything has changed. I brought this up like 10 times, but like, legitimately nothing has changed since like 2011, 2012 to 2023. I mean, we've had new, higher ups, new people in the media team, we've changed that stuff, but like the product, the exact same. It's so boring and bland. And that's why even people who are in Kansas, Missouri that are trying to decide, okay, what team should I pick? They're going to jump on St. Louis because they're fresh, they're new, they're more exciting.
Well, also, like, not to pick on Sporting, but like the branding around St. Louis is so much better in my mind. Like the colorways, everything about it is like bright, vibrant.
Yeah.
Let's be loud, let's have fun, let's do this. But when I see like Sporting, I don't really see anything but like a very pale blue.
Yes.
Like a very like baseline, like,
yeah,
we're here. We're playing soccer, guys.
Yeah.
We're doing the thing.
Yes.
Whereas I don't know. I feel like it should, like, if you look at literally every other branding in the league, it's like bright.
Yeah.
Like literally everything.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm looking at maybe Colorado's.
Yeah.
Which is probably also why Colorado is also kind of like bland. And
man, the thing I will give Sporting fans is at least they will try to sell out the stadiums. Colorado has been struggling.
They have been struggling. Let me look at the numbers. Week 6, Atlanta at the top.
Okay.
Surprising no one.
Yeah.
I like that he puts the percentages in here, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. That's
it's cool to see. Cincinnati, shocking no one, also in second. And then you've got Sporting didn't play at home this week, did they? Where'd they play?
We went to Philly.
Philly was at 100%. That's crazy. 100%, by the way, with all of that trash and the weather and all that crazy, the delay, like everything. And then, Chicago's last again.
Of course. So
14% of the stadium.
That's crazy. And
I don't mean to laugh, but like, that's crazy.
That sucks. I mean, not good. And even when I was looking at some pictures of the game, and you could tell they're trying to hide the crowd, where they'll take an angle and they'll make sure that it doesn't show.
Do we want to talk about last week's games? I know, did Sporting tie last week?
Yeah, we played Philly. Yeah, it was a draw.
Honestly, I expected you guys to lose. So
I mean, me too.
I feel like this is kind of a win.
I think weirdly enough, yeah, and Philly's good. They are struggling a little bit. They have these bumps, but it's now I'm going the other way where I'm like, okay, we can't cry at every score. I mean, that is an okay score. If it was like any year and we drew at Philly, I wouldn't be crying. The problem is it's like we're just begging for a win. So that if we don't beat Colorado this weekend, I don't know. Personally, me, I think I straight up will take a break on streaming. I don't know if I can't do it. Like I really cannot do it. And for fans, I don't know what they're gonna decide, but I think a lot of people are just gonna go, there's no more excuses. Actually, we got Alan back. He came in as a sub.
How'd he do?
He looked great. He had some cheeky fucking nutmegs, like 2 or 3. Just trying. He came in the 70th minute or something like that. So what I was expecting, Johnny Russell played the whole game. He looked great for his first game of the season. Okay. So like, there's positives. Our defense weirdly was lights out. Like they were killing it. So thank God.
Well, y'all are only. I'm looking at it right now. Y'all are number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for goals against, which is not bad. But for a team who hasn't won yet, it's kind of tough.
It was the one game screwed us was the Seattle one, and then every other game we lost by a goal. So
you're just
nothing
not scoring.
Crazy, just not scoring. Yeah,
but Alan should help that, right?
Yeah, hopefully, in theory. Yeah, knock on wood, because that's our next nightmare. If he's just
got to shake it off. Shake off the
shake
dust.
It off. That's why everyone's saying Colorado's like the perfect game. 2 horrible teams. It should be. We should win. We should honestly win.
Well,
and
that's
I feel
what
bad for Colorado.
Austin said about Colorado as well. And then they tied. So.
Dude, yeah. That's why I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Even a draw will send me off. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think at this point with Sporting, if you win, will you even care?
No.
No, it's just like, okay, it's 3 points.
The thing is, like, yeah. So I'm gonna be so relieved that it's done. Like, it's relief is I guess the word.
More relieved than excited.
Yeah. More relieved, and it's just like, all right, let's see what's gonna really happen. The weird thing is, like, I don't know what it is, and I talked to some people that are like reporters for the team, but like, every team you'll have injuries. Every team you'll always have someone out for the rest of the season or whatever the problem is. But it just really feels like everyone is not ready for this season every year for us. I don't know what the problem is. Like 3 games in, a guy is hurt. We signed a guy that's played like, I don't know, like 20 games last season. We just signed him and he's already injured, might be out next week. Bro,
not fun.
Can we
breaks.
have... Yeah, exactly. Like,
no breaks.
I don't know. Maybe we just have a curse, but I don't know. I think... next week or this weekend is so big just for me personally. I don't know, I can't speak for all sporting fans, but just for me, that's it. All the other games I'm excited to watch. There's some good games next week.
I haven't even looked at the schedule yet because I've been sick and I haven't looked at it. But last week, I mean, off the rip, St. Louis finally lost. So
that was
it's
crazy.
Funny because we talked about who we thought would be the undefeated the longest. And we said Atlanta, but then Atlanta lost immediately. And then our second guess was like, oh, maybe St. Louis pulls it off, and now St. Louis has done it. So the only people left, Cincinnati in the East. It's the only one.
They haven't.
And Cincinnati they look good.
Yeah.
They look really good. And then you've got LAFC and Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota's
Minnesota's the one that beat St. Louis. So
Ooh.
There's that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But the team, it's interesting because Nashville only has 2 goals against.
Right.
But they have 2 losses.
Yes.
So they only have 2. And then you've got Minnesota, LA, and then Seattle has 3 against, and then Cincinnati. So it's right there. But then you've got Nashville randomly only has 2 goals against. So I feel like they've just gotten unlucky.
Yeah, I would say unlucky. I feel like... Man, like that was another team where I'm like, they're gonna fire on all cylinders or whatever. I mean, they beat Orlando, right? That's who they played this week.
Let me go look.
Orlando 2-0. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, their goal differential is 4, so it's like they're having a good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
They've also played Cincinnati, and so Cincinnati beat them 1-0, and they've played New England, who for some reason is playing well. And they beat them 1-0, and so those are the only goals that Nashville has given up.
Wow,
in the season.
Damn,
that's it.
If they could just keep going, I mean, they could be a nasty team to play in the playoffs.
Nutty. Yeah, but I do think Cincinnati is the one that I think is going to be.
Yes.
I at the beginning of the year I talked about how I think they might be one of the best teams in the East, but I feel like they might be currently one of the best teams. They might be because they're okay. I didn't even realize this. Their schedule, their 4 games, they're 2 games into this are Nashville, Miami, Philadelphia, St. Louis, and they go to Portland, and they go Portland, New England, DC United. That's a hefty. So I'm very curious to see how they do with that one.
That's gonna be very crazy.
Tough. This Cincinnati Philadelphia game this week is gonna be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Thinking of that game is gonna be so.
That game's
fun.
Gonna be great. We talked about bombs. Our bomb and I think it was the bomb and dud game last week was the Chicago DC game.
Yeah.
And I think H was right. I think it was a dud. I think it was pretty boring.
I can't believe that it just went 0-0.
It just went 0-0. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Mad boring.
Wow.
Yeah, literally nothing happened. What were there any?
Dude,
there were a few games that like surprised me. First
Vancouver,
of all, go ahead. That game was nuts.
Vancouver killing Montreal 5-0, and that's like their little
nuts. Granted, there was a red card within like 20 minutes at the beginning.
Yeah, what the hell?
So there were 2 yellows and then a red.
I guess
in like the first 20 minutes.
The newsworthy thing is like the LA Galaxy coach was going off about the referee situation.
Yeah, the handball stuff.
Everyone's complaining because St. Louis is mad about their potential.
The refs have
penalty.
Not been good, just straight out.
Oh my god,
they've been
bad.
Either over or under on like every call.
Yeah.
It's been a really, really, really tough time. I sort of agree with the LA coach that like every call, like I made a video about the fact that the handball on the chest was not a handball.
Right.
That they could have had a goal and then they would have, I think, won that game. And then this game, they should have had a PK because whatever the pose he did where he was like chicken winging and they hit his elbow. It's definitely PK in my mind. So I do agree with him there. The rest of the season has just been kind of
so inconsistent and it's so frustrating.
Crazy. It's so frustrating because I don't know. They're just like on one game, 1 week, they're like overzealous on calls. And then the same person the next week is like under. It's like they're overcompensating for how bad they were.
I think the argument of what will help progress this league is the pro ref situation, dude. Like people are freaking out because now we're just expecting a bad call, and it could be your team or it could be the other person's team or whatever. So that to me is maybe number one. I think everything else we can take some time to evolve, but if we don't fix the freaking ref situation,
we gotta fix the refs. Yeah. Even if it's just the logo and the name, dude. I don't even like it looks like clip art. I could literally find it on I bet right now if I type hold on.
Yeah.
Pro ref logo. It is so bad.
It matches it matches their situation. It's just horrible. It looks like something you would get on like I don't know, like a FIFA card or something. Yeah,
it looks like if I went to a store for generic soccer stuff and I had no prior like info on the league or what soccer was, and I was like, I want to look like a soccer coach.
Yep.
I want to look like a ref. I want to look like a player, and I don't know what I'm picking. This is what I'm picking.
Yeah,
because it just looks like one of those like the logos when you go to make a team online, and it's like all the generic ones. There's like 5 or 6 of them. You can pick between them. This is one.
Everything else, like that, the one that shocked me and didn't shock me was the Columbus RSL game.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game.
I didn't see it
but
either.
I now I'm seeing it's 4-0.
4-0. Jesus
crazy.
Christ. It's
crazy. That's Columbus coming off of a 6-1 beat against Atlanta. Granted,
that's true.
They didn't have Thiago. They didn't have one of their defense players.
International break.
Robinson,
blah, blah, blah.
I think. But still,
that's
of crazy.
I
mean, they've been talking about Aiden Morris over there in Columbus for a minute.
And
I guess he's just finally starting to
Yeah, he's popping off now. Yeah.
So, one thing I will say is there was an Olympico in the Charlotte game. Did you watch this?
Bro,
there was 30, 40 mile an hour winds into the net.
Dude.
Crazy. You would see the goalies booting the ball out and it just goes straight up in the air and then almost kind of go backwards.
Yeah. I believe that.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So all 4 goals will score on the same goal.
Man, that's bad. That's really bad. And
Toronto scored both in the first half. And
it does
we
speak
both in the second.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like it does speak to like how some of the stadiums are built. Like that I don't know if it's this situation, but like for example, at Sporting's Park, like our park, there's too much openings. Like you have the seats, and right behind us is just air. So the wind is flying. Like in the Midwest, wind is stupid. So it's horrible. Like you have that everywhere, and I think that's one thing that I like about. I know European stadiums can be kind of boring and bland or whatever, but they have this closed shell. Yeah, and I love that.
That's why I like Atlanta. I love it. I love Atlanta's like that because it's just like very closed. Nothing's getting in. It's gonna be the same game every single week.
Yes,
same thing. It's consistent. And I mean, I'm all for like weather playing into it and being like a home team advantage type of thing. But when wind is going that crazy, it's hard to.
Yeah,
it's hard to justify.
You guys were down 2-0 and came back. That's insane. I couldn't even watch anything with that game, but that's awesome. Like
it was. I mean, it was. I want to say like Charlotte was dominating in my mind the first half, and they were still down 2-0 because there was. I think it was. Let me look at this real quick. Are there any corners? Okay, so Toronto had 8 corners in the first half, and they were all curving into it. Every single one of them. Boom, 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 boom. I think Charlotte had 1 in the first one because it's like you couldn't. If you got the ball there, you had to work it on the ground because you couldn't get past half.
You guys were at home?
No. It was in Toronto.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So and then the next half, it was. Charlotte had 6 corners and then Toronto had like 2 or 3. So it was like very much like it's just like a one-sided game. And if you wanted to get to the other half, you had to be able to like beat them on the ground. You weren't literally not able to beat the ball in the air past half.
Yeah.
Like no one could get it there.
So we've been talking about sporting situation, but since Charlotte's literally at the same spot as us, well, at least you have a win. You have a win.
Okay.
You have a win.
Whoa. Yeah. But, if you look at the standings, Kevin, okay. I think Charlotte's like 22 overall. They 22? Are, if you look at the numbers, Charlotte is
24 or something.
Charlotte is 14th in the East, but the Western Conference has 4 teams that have 3 points.
Yeah.
And so if Charlotte was in the Western Conference right now, they would be right above Portland.
Right. Okay.
So like in that like 9.5. Like they've been in between Vancouver and Portland. So, okay.
The difference is three losses. I have 3 losses. Okay.
Yeah.
We have 3 draws. You have that win and 2 draws or whatever it is.
The difference is the win. That's it.
The win is pushing the goal or the ball in. You're right.
Yeah. The win is the only difference. So it's like I don't know. I feel like I don't know about you, but I feel way more confident in Charlotte. The past like 2 or 3 games.
Oh yeah.
They're starting to like get this shit together. They're
when
starting
it started,
to like kind of
it looked like
in the right direction.
We had the same club when it started the season. But now, it looks like Charlotte is. I don't know who you guys play next. Is it a scary one?
Dude. I think it's no. I don't think so. No.
Okay, because that could be a
Colorado's in 2 weeks. I think
That's a W.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, Real Salt Lake.
Real. Yeah.
Oh, you're slapping them, bro.
So
I'm telling you.
Yeah, our next couple games, the next 2, I'm hoping we get at least 1 more win. I'm really hoping we get 2. Real Salt Lake and Colorado hopefully should both be W's. And then you got Columbus and DC, so those are kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping it gives them a little more confidence and they can
really this
kind of get the ball rolling.
This could be like weekend where our teams turn shit around.
Turn it around, Kevin.
Dude, honestly, if you guys get a win, like a solid win against RSL, you guys are going to be way more confident, more calm. Sporting finally gets a win, and we have all our players finally back this week. Yeah, it's going to be huge, I think.
Going to be a massive week, hopefully.
But also, that's why it's going to hurt if both of our teams lose.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's games we just really should not be losing.
No, right.
This week is LAFC and Austin. That is this week.
Yeah. That is going to be the
hopefully
new
a
rival,
good game,
right? That's like
I bet it's more like LAFC. It's like the. I mean, you're not in North Carolina. I was going to give you an ACC basketball.
Oh, I
thing.
love
college
basketball. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say like it's like the Duke Carolina rivalry,
yeah.
but really what it is like it's Carolina and NC State, whereas Austin's like NC State and Carolina's like I don't really care about you.
Right. Yeah, that's
State.
true.
I think LFC is kind of like right now this year. I don't think they're
not worried.
I don't think they're worried. I don't think it's like a rivalry thing for them. I think Austin needs it to be because
if they win, it will start.
I agree. I think they want it to be. I think it needs to be for like the Western side to have like that kind of like power dynamic on the top. I think it's interesting. And they came off of a week, and then LAFC. I think they have a game against Vancouver for CONCACAF, right? This week.
Yeah, so LAFC is kind of getting screwed there.
Yeah,
that's where...
so LAFC is getting a little bit screwed. Austin, though, hasn't really been playing very well. So, and they come off a bye week. So that game, I think that game is going to be my bomb game of the week.
Me too.
If I'm being honest.
Or I have another
one.
Or
Cincy and Philly.
Yeah, I was just going to say
that's a good one.
Philly. I don't know why.
There's a lot of good games this week.
Dude, honestly, this is a way better week than last week.
Last week
New
was
York
terrible.
City, Atlanta. I don't know why. I'm just so intrigued on how that's going to go.
Is that in New York? Yeah, that's in New York too, and that's playing in New York sucks.
Oh yeah.
I won't be.
I'm not gonna be watching it. Yeah.
Yep. I'm
not watching that shit. But
no.
And then this is the other one: Seattle, St. Louis. That's the bomb. Yeah. That's the bomb.
That's the one we thought was going to end Seattle's or St. Louis's streak.
Yeah,
and then Minnesota came out and did it.
Look at the stand; these guys look pretty solid. And if Seattle wins, they hop over. If St. Louis wins, no one's gonna hear the end of it. It's gonna be
because if Seattle wins, then they are top of the West. St. Louis will be down a point. So
yeah, man,
I don't know.
There's some good ass games this week.
I'm pretty pumped for that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a good one. The Cincy. Then we've got down at the bottom, Vancouver, Portland. I think they're both kind of mediocre. Yeah. Chicago, Minnesota. Minnesota should be doing well. Should win that game. So. I don't know. I think all of the games are very like well matched.
Yeah, I think so
like
too.
Houston, LA Galaxy will be a good game. Like all the games,
teams, shitty teams together.
Yeah, it's like they're not going to be like great games, but they are because they're all very well matched.
Yeah,
I think.
And a good one that we might skip over is Inter Miami FC Dallas. They've been both teams have been so like, oh, we're good this week, and then shitty this week.
Very hit or miss, like all over the place. I think the two for me, I guess it's hard to pick. The 3 bomb. I'm going to go with 3 bombs this week. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, LAFC, Austin. It's hard to pick because there's so many good ones. Even the New York Atlanta game is going to be good. But the dud, we have to pick a dud game.
San Jose, New York, Red Bulls. I already got it. This is one that I just would. My dud is more like I would never want to watch this game. Okay. And it's Houston versus LA Galaxy. Okay. LA Galaxy have been pretty much as shit as my team.
Yes.
And Houston is so suspicious. Like I thought they were gonna be really ass, and then they start good, and then they play horrible again. That game, not watching for sure. If I didn't have to watch it.
It's at 8:30. Yeah. There's more. I'm watching. Oh no. 8:30. Oh, that's your game. Your game's at 8:30. I'm cool. I'm cool with picking that one as the dud. Although I also like, no offense to the Earthquakes and offense to the Red Bulls. I just don't really enjoy watching either of those teams usually either.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I would watch San Jose, but they're playing New York, and I don't give a flying rat's ass. I think if we pick 3 top, we got to pick 3 bottom.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Houston. I like the Houston LA Galaxy. I'm gonna go New York Red Bulls, San Jose. And then, even though Nashville's been doing well, actually, no. Toronto was crazy to watch this last week, so I might watch them again.
Yeah.
I'm going to put your team in there, Kevin.
Do it.
I'm going to say Sporting in Colorado is my third.
It. New York Red Bull, San Jose, same thing, LA, Houston. And I think I'm going to switch it up and just because they've been so... Well, Vancouver actually destroyed, so maybe they'd do it again.
Vancouver right now is in the standings... Where is it? Western Conference. They're 9th right now. 1 win, 3 draws, 2 losses.
Okay. All right. Shit. I would watch all these other games. I guess I would have to put Sporting Colorado. I mean, if I really didn't, I swear, if I wasn't streaming, I'm not watching this game.
I'm not watching it. Yeah.
Hell no.
It'd be like on in the background somewhere. If something crazy happens, you can hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you want to move into just like regular soccer talk, huh? I haven't looked into it, but I've seen a lot of people talking about how Barcelona's kind of been popping off with the Messi stuff.
Yeah.
Is that true? I
haven't
looked at it yet.
I think it's actually done deal.
Okay. Why?
I think it's over.
What happened?
Here's the two things. Well, one, I watched the PSG game the last one and the one before, and there is some clear audible jeering and booing every time Messi has the ball. And ever since then, it just seemed like, okay, Barca fans, of course, popping off. They're like, hey, come over here. We would want that. Bunch of players are going out in public, doing interviews saying, we would love to have him back, all this stuff, right?
Okay.
And here's the other thing. So many players. So Kun Aguero, I have this clip and I could put it in the video, and he has subtitles in English. But
I watched Kun Aguero,
oh, you did? Okay, so Kun was saying, like, hey, it's like 50-50. Now it's up to Messi. If it's up to Messi, no shot in my brain Messi is going to go, let me re-sign with PSG one more season and then figure. No, not happening.
No, he's not. He's not.
If it's between those two. But here's the other thing. What's his name? Mike Ryan Ruiz. He's on like the Levitard show in Miami. Okay. He has all this intel on the league or on this situation. And he talked about, he's been open since like the World Cup. Fabrizio Romano said Messi's camp has not talked to anyone other than PSG. He said that's a straight lie. That is not true. Later we found out that he was right. That was not true. Fabrizio straight up lied. Messi's camp has been talking. So he's been kind of good at, hinting some things. So he went out, I think yesterday, uploaded a clip that says,
Barcelona is operating in the shadows, and basically all the deal points between Inter Miami and Messi have been ironed out. There is no more negotiation when it comes to Inter Miami. The sides know what the deal is. Now it's basically, all right, can you sign on the dotted line here? And in soccer, and especially when Barcelona is involved, and even to a lesser degree PSG, which now more reputable places are reporting that he is not going to extend over at PSG. I was telling you that months ago. The ball's in Lionel Messi's court, essentially. He has a decision to make. Does he want to go back to Barca? Does he want to come here to Inter Miami? As the deal stands right now, I don't think this deal from Inter Miami will be available such that it is next year, and there's reasons for that. I know a lot of people want to say, well, why don't you just spend another year in Europe, come back to this equity stake over here? The equity won't be as profitable. When shovels go in the ground in Melreese, the franchise value goes up on Inter Miami. And also, they get a cut if they hit certain benchmarks on the Apple TV deal. He would have a hand in making sure that those numbers are good.
Now, the reports and everyone around the world are just like, how great would it be to see Michael Jordan like Last Dance type of thing, where it's the final season, let's make one more run, blah, 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 in Barcelona, and then he can go wherever he wants. So I don't know. I doubt Miami would go, okay, he didn't sign us for this year. We're pulling everything out and we don't want him anymore. I doubt that. No. But it's very interesting to see that PSG, we already knew he wasn't that happy. And I love hearing that, it was all lies. Like the European pundits were straight up going, no, he's staying in Paris. He's staying in Paris. And now they're switching because Barcelona is interested. They're like, okay, he might stay in Europe. He might go to... it's like, come on.
Well, I think at the beginning of like the conversation was Barcelona fans and higher ups, from what I remember, were saying like, this is not what we need. We do not need to bring in older player, even if it's Messi, blah, 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 blah. Like I saw this on like TikTok, fans and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
And so now I think that like the possibility is becoming more real. I think they're like, they're flipping it. I'm changing my mind. Please give me Messi. Please give it to me. I, as a Messi fan, would rather him finish at Barcelona. It just makes sense to me for that to happen. Whether what I don't want him to do is, I think something you just said was like the last run of like he plays at Barcelona and then he goes somewhere else. I think it should be the opposite. Yeah. Where he plays somewhere else and then goes and finishes at Barcelona when he's done. When he's done and just wants to be like a 1 or 2 year thing. And I don't think there's any other news.
No,
so
I think
we can go straight into some community questions, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this was a question from weeks before that we didn't get to last week because we cut short. So this is from Omar. In the Portland LA Galaxy game, Portland's keeper had to leave due to injury, and a field player had to play in goal for the remainder of the game. Who are some MLS field players you would think could be decent in goal?
Oh,
that's a hard question. I feel like you have to just go with tall people.
Tall defenders.
You have to go with like a center back, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or like a central defensive player.
I'm not saying any sporting damn players. I'm telling you that right now. Hell no. We are nowhere. We're gonna break our knees
in the whole league,
Impact.
though. Yeah, you have to. I want to say it's got to be someone who can just be everywhere, high energy. If they're not going to be massive, they have to have like the energy to be able to bounce them from side to side all the time.
What's his fucking name from Nashville? That he plays for Team USA. He has long hair, fucking blonde hair.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me look at...
Oh, Walker Zimmerman. Yes.
Yeah.
He's 6'3".
Okay.
So,
height's almost there. He's
185.
There.
He's lean. He's very physical. I mean, look, he's a national team player. I would say I would give him that. I don't know why, and I'm gonna have to search everywhere for this video, but I feel like he had some little TikTok or whatever where they asked him, and he's like, "I could play in goal" or something like that.
In goal.
So I'm gonna go with Zimmerman for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go with just because he's kind of a hothead. And I feel like hotheads get in people's minds a lot.
Oh yeah,
and he's kind of a little ball of fire. I'm gonna go with Bernadeschi from Toronto.
Oh yes,
he's tall. He's like
tall,
He's like 6 feet. Let me look.
Yeah,
6'1". He's 6'1".
Okay.
I think that's a good one. And plus, like, I mean, granted, you might not agree with this, but I feel like forwards, they know how to score. So they should it's reverse psychology type of thing.
I get that.
He's 29. He's a little older.
They're both 29, actually.
They're both 29. Okay, well there you go. I'm gonna go with Bernadeschi, and you go with who did you say? Zimmerman, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I like that.
I'm cool with that. All right. The other two questions we've already kind of touched on. One was Vanilla. As he said, what's really the problem with the 40% of Apple TV?
Yep.
And then the other one is D-Block saying, good topic, is the Apple TV deal going to hurt the growth of the MLS, which we didn't really talk about. We talked about like hurting its chances this year, but the growth of it, we didn't really talk about. But he goes on to say, this past weekend, some friends and I went out to try to watch the DC United game, and we went to 4 different sponsored bars for their own site, no less, and none of the bars played the game due to not having a subscription.
Okay.
Definitely going to hurt passive and new fans trying to get into it.
Is that Apple or is that fucking MLS not figuring
this shit Apple? Yeah, exactly. I think it's more of like a communication thing.
Yeah. Like,
not necessarily like the bar not wanting to like pay for it.
Sure.
And it could be. There's definitely going to be bars that don't want to pay for it, but I feel like
if they're a sponsored bar, dude, that should be in the package.
It should be in the they should get it, and they should be able to do it. I do want to mention with this though, like I don't think MLS is their only goal. I think their goal is also to get EPL. Like all of the other European leagues as well. So it's like underneath one umbrella.
I don't know about hockey, but like I've heard from some friends that hockey can be a nightmare to watch as well.
It's horrible.
So I feel like, hey, if it could be like a one-stop shop for a lot of U.S. sports, dude, it would include a big bundle. I would watch whatever the hell, you know.
Bring it in. I'm down because I'm like I told you earlier. I literally cannot watch Canes games, and I'm an hour away. It's blacked out every week, so I have to watch it through a very legal site. Okay, very extremely legal site. I have to watch every single week because I can't go to the games and I can't watch them. So, granted, the contract with Bali just ended. So hopefully the NHL will be a little better and do that. But like Apple could pick it up, and Apple, I feel like I really do think that they're test running their coverage with MLS so they can push it to show for other ones. I don't think this was their end game. I don't think it was their thing. So I think it might hurt. Getting back to the original, I think it might hurt the growth of the MLS this season. But I think once they figure it out, I think in the long run, it will help out if they stick with it. But they would have to stick with it because, like we said, they do have that like clause where they can just pull out whenever they want.
And I feel like that's that is the only thing. Like you said earlier, like I didn't know you could share the account. Maybe people just don't know this shit.
Well, if you don't know that, like think about it. Like that's like I only didn't know that. I only knew that because Doug, which you've seen Doug in Discord, Doug brought it up to my attention because he's one of the ones that's on my plan.
Okay.
So it's like,
got it. Yeah.
I didn't know that we could do that, and so he brought it up, and we were like, "How many could you do?" And he like had to like research it and figure it out, and we'd like do all of this other side stuff. So it's really weird and interesting that they don't share it, but they don't share it.
They don't. Yeah.
I think if they did, they'd have more people biting on the MLS right now. honestly, if they want people to stay, they're going to have to fix the schedule stuff.
Oh yeah,
because
that's a big thing.
It's and another thing we haven't mentioned really is like, granted, all of the games are the same time, but they're not region specific times.
Right.
So it's like some teams are playing like really freaking early or really freaking late. Like just like it doesn't make any sense. And they need to be more region locked, and they need to have like that kind of thing too. So
yes,
it's just all over the place, weird with the timing. So there is one more question that I just saw.
Sure, go.
The last question is, how many games does SKC go winless?
Oh God.
Just a great way to end.
What's the next two? Hold on, I just want to see our next two games. Because realistically, I could draw Colorado. All right, so that's still winless.
Okay. That's still winless, yeah.
And then we got, that's the next one. Please don't be anyone good. Fuck. Colorado and then San Jose.
San Jose's been doing kind of well though.
And then New England, which they're kind of Montreal, okay, maybe we could beat Montreal since they lost so bad. And then Seattle again. Maybe. Fuck me, man. We could go. Oh my God, we could go so deep without winning. I mean, like, if I'm going, this is our winnable game, okay?
Okay.
Like you said, San Jose.
Winnable, right? Okay.
Winnable.
Could be right now. Could be this weekend.
Could be this weekend, and it's over, leave me alone. Or if we draw San Jose, we could lose or draw New England. Who fucking knows? Yeah. Montreal, I feel like they could. They had a good win. Hold on.
Montreal?
Wait, they lost to. Oh no, they're ass. Oh, they're ass.
Yeah.
No. All right.
You think Montreal?
I think Montreal is
a for sure win.
That we win that game. Damn it.
Okay, so how many games is that from now?
From now, we got Colorado, then Montreal. Oh no, Colorado, New England, then Montreal. Fuck, 3 more games.
So 3 weeks, 3 more games, so you get a W. 3 points on the board,
dude. Okay. No, I retire if that takes that long. Fuck, man. 3 more weeks of fucking torture.
That sounds fantastic.
Woo,
Kevin.
yeah.
That sounds great. Do we want to wrap it up there while Kevin's in torture?
Let's go.
That's it. Kevin's sad. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Oh, Kevin, I want to do, I think it would be cool to have a guest and then a no guest and then a guest. Sure. So we'll have guests next week.
Yes, let's do it.
We don't know who.
We'll find someone.
We have to find somebody.
We'll do it.
All right. That's it.
Cool. Thanks,
Peace.
guys. Ciao.
Later.